You know, people come to government, they say, we want farms. I grew up on the farm. For all my life, I've been working on the farm, like the gentleman was saying. But it's one thing to work on the farm. It's quite another to manage a farm. Sometimes it's day and night. These are two different things. So what we're doing is we have introduced the strategic partnerships on a basis of a co-ownership, co-management rather, equity share, including equity share and mentoring. So that you have people out there who go into farming understanding the implications of what they're going into. So we're doing that. So the farmers are going to be extremely important as strategic partners. And soon, actually, there's quite a number already of farmers who are entering into strategic partnerships with us right now. I know in the Free State that we're also already talking about 9 farms that are entering into strategic partnerships with farmers. So the farmers themselves are coming forward because they now have come to understand. I addressed them in the Eastern Cape. Once I addressed them in the Eastern Cape, they understood what we stand for. They said, look, we're in it. We're part of it. So here as well, it's just that people want to know what is in the kitty, what is government bringing to us. Once they know, they go for it.
And what does this mean for foreign investors? We heard talk about foreign investors fleeing to Mozambique across the border, but also what does it mean for investors looking to invest in the broader economy of South Africa in terms of bonds?
Let me answer this question about Mozambique by saying, you know, South African presidents, all of them, from President Mandela through to President Jacob Zuma today, they also say we've got the responsibility, you know, to ensure that the continent grows with us. If the continent doesn't grow, we're actually sitting with a major social problem in the country where people come to South Africa. South Africa can be an island of growth and development in the sea of poverty around us. If farmers from South Africa, if investors from the world would invest, you know, in the neighboring countries, it reduces the social stress on South Africa. It reduces the burden of infrastructure development in South Africa. It reduces the tensions about xenophobia and all of those, because people come to South Africa because South Africa is relatively more developed than Mozambique, than Zimbabwe, than all the countries in Southern Africa. They come here. It is in our interest as South Africans that Southern Africa as a whole is developed to relieve the pressure on us.
One of the issues that was raised was that of funding. Will we see government intervening in terms of helping farmers get access to funding? We haven't really discussed that at all. I would be interested to hear how farmers put that question forward and how government would respond, because I think farmers, through this engagement process, will also have to put forward their own ideas about how to improve the situation, their own situation. Once that is put on the table, I'm sure government will listen to that and debate and engage them. For now, it has not been put on the table. Minister, obviously you've highlighted the issue that the willing buyer, willing seller model doesn't work in South Africa. How are the policies that you're implementing not nationalization?
You know, this thing of nationalization, there's just a conceptual problem here. Land, all we're saying is that land is a national asset, that like it is in the United States, in every other country, in UK, Germany, Lesotho, everywhere else. It's a national asset. The question is, how do we utilize that national asset such that all South Africans share on it relatively equally or in an equitable manner, as the Constitution will say? That's really, let's put that debate, you know, off the table, and then come back to say that perhaps what we should really begin to do is to follow what they are saying themselves, to say, what are your plans? You heard them. What are your plans? Put them on the table. We need a bit of transparency. There have been challenges in terms of funding. We know that. But we also have our own ideas, like they were talking about special purpose vehicles and so on, that they put in, you know, to the department about 3 years ago. 3 months ago, they say we tried to revive this. It still has to be put on my table. I haven't seen it. I would like to see that. I'll be very happy to see that, because These are people who are quite experienced. They know what they're talking about. They've gone through it. They're going through it even now, both as a business, as a passion. So we're looking forward to interacting with them in a manner that will make us more understanding. It will empower us so that we are able to, when we speak, to government and say, government, these interactions have yielded this kind of thinking, this kind of response rather, and our thinking in terms of these responses is this, and we make proposals to government. I'm sure government, given what the president, the manner in which the president has taken to this thing called rural development and land reform, I can assure you, without committing government and so on, I don't have that mandate. I can assure you though that government will listen.